What's good? It's Woog. So that's that. Ryan Garcia stops Luke Campbell in the 7th round. And that is exactly the type of splash Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, Ryan Garcia, Canelo's team, the Reynosos. This was the best case scenario. A stoppage of Luke Campbell. This might have in some way kind of preserved and saved Golden Boy Promotions, being that this is their biggest blue chipper. He had the huge step up opportunity. Capitalized on it. He got knocked down early. A lot of people, I'm sure, watching the fight saw the way that his arms were stiff as he hit the canvas and thought, oh shoot, this one might be over. It was one of those fall downs where you can't even break your fall with your arms and you've got your arms behind your back as you hit the canvas. It wasn't looking good. And Ryan Garcia said, I've never been knocked down before. But he battled back, stayed composed, survived the round, hurt Luke Campbell badly at the end of the 4th round to where Luke Campbell turned his back. I thought the fight was over the way that he turned his back. Or at around the same time the bell rang to end the 4th round, he gets stuck, turned his back, and kind of hobbles towards it, or not even towards, but into the ropes, and then he got stopped in the 7th round. Now, they were playing this little, I wouldn't call it a cat and mouse game, but there was definitely a lot of deception going on where, you know, the punch that knocked Ryan Garcia down from Campbell was a punch that Garcia thought was coming low to the body, because that's where Campbell had been targeting. So Garcia lowers his guard thinking it's coming to the belly side area, and it comes up top, catches Garcia right on the chin, he hits the mat. Well, the inverse or converse of that happens to end the fight, where because of the way Garcia had invested over the course of several rounds up top with the hook, that's what's on Luke Campbell's mind. So as Ryan Garcia throws the punch, the devastating left hook, Campbell has his hands where he's responsibly supposed to have them, thinking that it's coming up top, but this time it comes down to the exposed side of the belly area, hits, you know, Campbell in the kind of liver area. Campbell drops. It's the end of the fight. Very well set up and just supremely executed. Ryan Garcia did a lot of growing up in this fight, and I think we have evidence that he has done a ton of growing up before this fight with the Reynosos in those training camps. He is fast-tracking his education, and now he just made the splash necessary to set up bigger fights in the 135-pound division. So here's what we do know. Every time Garcia is asked the question, the first name that comes out of his mouth is Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Davis is on PBC. They would have to work some cross-promotional work out between Golden Boy / DAZN and Al Heyman / PBC. I'm not sure how you would roll this pay-per-view out, which platform they would choose. That all has to be worked out. I'm not even sure this fight could be made because of how insular the PBC approach has been in certain divisions. We'll see how they play this Gervonta Davis card at lightweight, but we know the type of poker they play at 147. So Ryan Garcia says he wants to fight Gervonta Davis. Devin Haney is the other name, and they are both on the DAZN. Devin Haney is on DAZN through Matchroom Eddie Hearn. Ryan Garcia is on DAZN through Golden Boy Oscar. So those look like the two biggest or most realistic big opportunities that await Ryan Garcia after this tremendous win over the super skilled Luke Campbell in a major step-up fight for Garcia. Man, it was looking questionable in the second. I saw him hit the canvas, and I'm watching this fight with my brother and his girlfriend, and we're looking at each other like, wow, like this might be it for Garcia, or at least for this part of the hype train that is Ryan Garcia. But man, he dug deep, he survived, did what he had to do, comes out with not only a win, but a stoppage, becoming the first to stop Luke Campbell. So, if we're looking at Ryan Garcia versus either Gervonta Davis or Devin Haney, my brother and I share the same opinion on this one. What up, Billy? he and I, we kind of agree here that styles make fights, and Gervonta Davis is among the most powerful punchers in the sport, pound for pound. Now, he's only had one fight at lightweight. It was against Yuri Gamboa, where he knocked him out late in the fight, 12th round. But if we're sizing these two fighters, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, up against Ryan Garcia, we believe that Ryan Garcia probably, I would have to give him a better than 50% shot against Gervonta Davis. As devastating a puncher as Davis is, as much as a dog as he is, as like vetted and tested, you know, and I know he's not consistently tested on the professional level. Like, we've seen him fight Pedraza, we've seen him fight Gamboa, we've seen him fight Leo Santa Cruz, but aside from Gamboa, all these other fights are at 130, and I mean, there's going to be a 5-inch height gap between Davis and Garcia, at least. And we know Garcia has hair trigger quickness, has the reach advantage, has the height advantage. He does still keep his chin kind of upright. He was still very vulnerable to get hit by Campbell. So that is something to be concerned about. Like, he needs to shore that up, because there are some guys who aren't as nice with their punches. And I mean nice as in forgiving, as Luke Campbell with their punches. And Gervonta Davis is one of those guys that you can't make the same as you have a very narrow margin for error against Gervonta Davis. But Davis got hit a lot against Santa Cruz. This is up a division. This is 135, where Garcia is very comfortable and super strong. I just think that the danger kind of cancels itself out, because they are both equally able, at least equally able, to put each other out. So it becomes who's able to find the opportunities, who's able to keep their chin safe until those opportunities present themselves. And although I still have questions about Ryan Garcia's defense as he tires in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. Now, Luke Campbell isn't the guy who will get you out of there when you do start to fatigue a little. Davis is. But I would have to give Ryan Garcia at least a 50-50 shot at this point against Tank Davis. I'm not sure I would give him that same 50-50 against Devin Haney, because styles make fights. And Haney appears to be among the very most defensively responsible fighters in the division. He plays the distance game superbly and is able to find the opportunities where his punches are able to land and he's able to get out of harm's way. I could see him kind of cruising to a decision win over Garcia, or maybe even finishing Garcia late, because again, when Garcia gets into the deep waters, he's one of these guys whose defense is going to be his offense. It's like, no matter how far behind Garcia is on the scorecard, there's always a chance that he could land something big. But tit for tat, he looks like he can get discouraged if he's getting out-jabbed, out-thought in the ring and getting hit and is unable to land his power punches. I could see that becoming a problem for Garcia, and I think Devin Haney is the type of fighter who's able to expose that and exploit that. Devin Haney, I believe, is more in the vein of Shakur Stevenson, in the sweet science model of the sport, and I think time has proven that that is how you win rounds. Therefore, that's how you ultimately win fights, when the knockout can't bail you out. And granted, I don't think Ryan Garcia was behind on the scorecards here. I actually had him up a couple rounds on the scorecards. But his outlet is going to be his power, just like the outlet for when things go bad, start getting bad for Gervonta Davis, is going to be his power. Now, they are thoughtful and smart ring IQ enough to be able to find the opportunities to land those power punches, which it takes another level of sophistication that they possess, that other fighters who have power alone but not the IQ to be able to have the delivery method to land those big punches. I think Ryan Garcia has that. I think Gervonta Davis has that. But Garcia has a slight height advantage over Devin Haney. But I think, I am going to rethink this with whichever fight presents itself. I'm just giving you my first thoughts here. The fight that Devin Haney had that makes me kind of second guess that assessment is the fight that he had right before the Gamboa fight. I think it was his first COVID fight, and he was having a lot of problems in these exchanges with this very athletic, kind of long and rangy opponent. The guy's name is escaping me right now. It was a stay busy fight for Haney, but he didn't look his best in that fight, in the same way that, Teofimo Lopez didn't look his best against Nakatani, who's since proven to be a pretty real guy. Just the evidence being him against former Olympic medalist Felix Verdejo, a one-time, big-time blue-chip prospect himself. So we're going to take a much deeper look at these matchups, potential matchups. I'm just giving you my first thoughts just based off the excitement coming from that Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell showdown. But initial thoughts is Devin Haney might have the edge on Ryan Garcia in terms of who I would favor if they were to collide. And I'm starting to think that Ryan Garcia might actually have the edge against Gervonta Davis, who did get hit a lot against Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz was kind of putting it on him before, Gervonta Davis started slowing the fight down, started being more analytical, started feinting, looking and letting Santa Cruz let his hands go to start seeking out certain power punch opportunities. So I'm not going to underestimate that sophistication in Davis's game, but I'm looking at the height gap. I'm looking at Gervonta Davis's lack of true experience. Now, he fought Gamboa, who himself is a blown up featherweight. Gamboa had his championship at 126, not 135, not even 130. So Gervonta Davis at 135 and seeing if he can handle a real 135 pressure, still a bit of a question mark, even though he's devastatingly powerful at 130 and maybe even 135. So those are my early thoughts on this fight. But yeah, let me know what you thought about Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. Man, that was not only a display of ability for Ryan Garcia, but it was a display of heart. Southern California is in the building. Yeah, I really can't wait to see what the lightweight division holds in 2021. But yeah, please leave your comments in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hey, by the way, Canelo showing his support for Ryan Garcia. That whole camp, they just have it going on right now. They have a lot of juice. Also, I thought it was noteworthy that Ryan Garcia is shouting out his team, the Reynosos, Canelo. Didn't mention Golden Boy, even though you see Golden Boy on the turnbuckles. It doesn't seem like anybody's really, besides Bernard Hopkins, anybody's really getting along with Oscar De La Hoya at this point. But we'll see how that whole relationship unfolds going forward as well. But big win for Golden Boy, big win for Ryan Garcia, big win for the Reynosos and Canelo by proxy. Very exciting time in the lightweight division. The sky's the limit for multiple careers, at least 3, 4, 5 careers. Oh, wow. I just hope that the promotional and network politics don't mess up the best potential matchups that could be had in the division. I just gave a 2021 preview where I said that I don't think that Gervonta Davis versus the unified champ, undisputed champ Teofimo Lopez is going to happen because of the promotional politics. I hope that doesn't mess up Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia if it's what both of these guys want. Please leave your comments in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.